Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars in the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, they're breaking the mold. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
And good morning, and welcome to the Monday morning edition, Victory Monday for some, of Ken and Ken in the morning as we wrapped up the what year is this? 2025, 2026 regular season. I guess 25, 26. It was much easier when it was all just 1 year, wasn't it? So yeah, the regular season wrapped up yesterday. Some interesting wins, some interesting losses, and some division titles were crowned. It was funny that we got Broski this morning. Good morning, Broski.
Good morning, Ken.
Hey, I was just about to say it was. Good morning, Philip. I was about to say it was funny that the Tampa Carolina game didn't decide it, but it was decided by the two lesser teams in the division, so to speak. So, because like Tampa had the tie break until a third team entered the mix. I mean, it was so weird. So weird.
Yeah, the difference between what separates a three-way tiebreaker and a two-way tiebreaker, that was something else.
Yeah. Good morning, Fred. Hey, that's the other thing, though. With the Lions winning yesterday and the Vikings winning yesterday, everyone in the NFC North had a winning record.
Yeah, tough division, man, and I don't expect anything different going forward. I really don't.
And then you go to the NFC South, and no one has a winning record.
Yeah, those teams struggled, man. Some of those teams do have some good pieces, some good building blocks, but they're still a ways out from being like a perennial winning team.
South, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like, are they ever going to be good? It's like, they are eventually. But
yeah, some of these teams like let's take the Bucks. They need to keep retooling. They have to get they have to just get some of their older players out. Like Mike Evans, hang it up. Godwin, get him out. He can't stay on the field anymore. Some of their O-line, some of the guys on defense, linebackers, their secondary, they just it's like any team. They have to retool, man. You got to turn over the roster a little bit and get some younger guys in there. And Bowles has taken a lot of heat. Personally, I think he's a good coach. I want to see. They're saying he's on the hot seat though, so let's see if he keeps his job. I kind of think he will, but I don't think he's sitting too comfortably right now.
Well, the coach that knocked him out of the playoffs lost his job yesterday. A couple early morning ones. So let me go through the early yesterday through today, as of now. Raheem Morrison was fired along with his GM Terry Fontenot. In Atlanta, even after he won the final game of the season, canceling Bowles' trip to the playoffs. Kevin Stefanski fired by the Browns. They should have fired the GM.
Yeah,
like Andrew Berry should be gone. Stefanski should still be there, but whatever. The Bengals are saying they're going to keep Zach Taylor and Duke Tobin. I'm fine with that. And the Giants are keeping their GM, Joe Sheen. And I'm kind of okay with that, too. And unless there's been something that's happened in the last 20 minutes, that's everything.
Well, if you're the New York Football Giants, Or you're the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, you see Stefanski out there. How attractive is that? You know, that's all I'm
Well,
saying.
actually, breaking news: the Falcons are expected to hire Matt Ryan as president of football operations.
Wow. No, good job for Matt.
So
Wow. Huh?
yeah,
Yeah, that's
that
pretty
changes
cool.
things there. So there might be a lot of changes going on in Hotlanta. Um, you know, yeah, I mean that's a good head. Stefanski's a good head coach. Um,
Absolutely.
I mean, after last night's game, it was you expect maybe Harbaugh to get fired. I don't think he will. Um, I think both those coaches in last night's Sunday night football matchup are good. I mean, it was to be decided on a missed field goal. I tell you who was laughing at home, Justin Tucker.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Justin Tucker. You're not kidding.
he's like, "That's a chip shot. How'd you miss that?" The Raiders ended up with the number one pick, Fred. Yep, Joe will be happy when he gets on this morning.
Did they
Well, he may
really?
be unhappy because now there's new associated rumors that are going along with that, but we'll get to that when Joe gets here. Um, but yeah, I think those guys keep their job. But Stefanski to me was kind of like a surprise because Stefanski's a good coach and his record isn't great actually, but I don't blame Stefanski for what happened. I mean, what was his record? One, I said, where was his overall record with them? He's got a losing record. However, I mean, his GM didn't do him any favors. His GM
No.
didn't do him
Eh,
any.
Yeah, they really didn't. And like we said, we you can tell, like outside people could tell that he's a good head coach. He's a really good head coach. If he was set up to win, a little bit better, he'd probably. I mean, he won Coach of the Year twice when he wasn't really set up to win. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think give this guy some more ammunition, set him up in a better spot, and I think there's going to be a very happy team who hires him.
So right now, the open jobs we have are the Browns, the Titans, the Giants. Ooh, Stefanski, Giants.
Yeah, that's smells right to me.
I mean, that's a quick hot take. I mean, and then you got Atlanta. So you got
You
four
know,
jobs open right now. Any more jobs you think can open up today, or you think that's it? You think those are the four? Or what other firings do we think are going to happen
I
today?
think people are waiting on the Mike McDaniel thing in Miami to see if
I
that
don't think he's
happens.
getting fired.
I think as far as everyone else, I think the organizations have come out and said we're not firing so and so. Like the Bengals head coach, I think did they came out and said he's safe, right?
For which coach?
The Bengals,
Yeah. He's safe. Yeah.
exactly.
I
So
mean,
I,
I mean, you lost the franchise for 3 quarters of the season, and you were still somewhat competitive. So yeah, he's
yeah, and I think so. Really, all I would say is, and I'm not saying they're definitely going to get fired. I'm just saying let's wait and see on Mike McDaniel and Bowles, honestly, and then let's not rule out Pete Carroll. Let's not rule out Pete Carroll. So
and
I wouldn't rule those three guys out. That's who I would keep my eye on. Again, not saying they're going to get fired. Just that's who I'd watch.
yeah, Morton might get fired in Detroit. I expect him to, especially. I mean, dude, you haven't been calling the plays for the last 8-9 games. You're getting fired. I think Morton's gonna get fired. I think Eberflus might get fired. Um, in Dallas because his defense wasn't that good this year.
No.
He may not get fired. He may get lucky. Um, you might get an Andy Reid retirement. I don't know.
Yep.
The whole thing with Mahomes getting hurt. I think if Mahomes didn't get hurt, I think Reid and Kelsey both retire. But he gets hurt now. Neither of them want to go out like that. They may both come back for another year.
Yeah, honestly, I could see that working either way. Regardless, it's a wait and see there. But you're right. Reed could decide to hang it up.
I
Um,
think Reid retires when Kelsey retires.
I'm leaning that way myself. I mean, it kind of smells like that. And if there is a vacant spot in Kansas City, Do they promote Spagnuolo? Do they look to bring in a Stefanski? That could be interesting.
They're on JB's YouTube. He will definitely appreciate that. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, today's the big day, right? It's Black
Mhm.
Monday. I don't know how much more I expect. Some of these days that we have in the NFL, Black Monday, free agent frenzy, they're not really June 1st. Eh, They're becoming so predictable in certain ways. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think we're gonna get some surprises, but honestly, I can't like the Jets. They're not doing anything with their coaching staff. They're it's 1 year. The only reason you get a 1 year fire is if they already have someone in the wing, right? Like you had, let's say, with the Raiders, kind of, and with definitely with New England. Um, if I look at the first year coaches, three of them won their division this year. Three of the six won their division. The other three didn't do so great. But I don't know. Pete Carroll, if he's gone, Stefanski going there. I don't know what kind of coach they want in Vegas right now. If they want an offensive or defensive coach. And same thing in New York, same thing in Tennessee. Cleveland's a crap show. I think you're lucky to get now whoever is willing to accept that shit show of a franchise. I mean, minus Miles Garrett, you have nothing to offer a head coach. It goes to
Yeah.
like what happened last year with the Bears. I mean, the Bears, I don't want to say that they're the new poster child of how to build, but they were talking about this yesterday. Why did Ben Johnson decide not to interview anywhere else, turn down other coaching jobs in years previous, and then go straight to Chicago? Because they had the quarterback he wanted. If I look at Cleveland, what is there besides Miles Garrett? Like, if you're a head coach, wanting to get and you just, what I mean? Besides maybe just the opportunity to get your first job, but I mean, what's there? If I go to New York, okay, I've got a young quarterback that's got a little pop to him. I think he's, New York is a job that guys are going to want to go to because of that, right?
Yeah,
They,
no, I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Caleb was definitely an attractive piece to Ben Johnson. I think the fact that he probably felt he could work with Poles as well. That Poles was actually open to making it kind of like a team effort as far as input goes and player personnel and that kind of thing. So I think that played into it. But yeah, the big thing is the quarterback. Like you look at the Raiders. The
and I
Raiders
think
have zero identity. Like they have Brock Bowers, they have Ashton Genty, they have Max Crosby, and literally like nothing else. They don't. I think their O and D lines are a long ways off. They don't have a quarterback, and yeah, then they have a 72-year-old head coach. Like they're a mess.
I mean, I think Sheen's gonna is a GM that I think any head coach coming in is like, okay, I can work with this guy too, right? So I mean, now Sheen, look at this next guy is gonna be his hire. He's on the hook. If this next coach doesn't work out, he's out in New York. But I think New York's attractive for what they've got. The Raiders, yeah, I mean, well, they're attractive because you got the number one pick. And so if you're a big fan of one of these quarterbacks and you want to take that quarterback number one, that's the selling point to go with Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty. So there is a selling point to a degree, though, Roasty.
Sure, but Pete Carroll's there, so it's like, is his job safe?
Pete Carroll,
Yeah, exactly. Which that makes me think that like Pete Carroll's job, like I said, he's one of the three I'm going to be probably watching to see if he does get popped today. If I'm them, knowing you have the first overall pick, is Pete Carroll really the guy you want to build this team with? Like, I don't think so. Yeah. There's also like Brian.
Look at Miami. I mean, players love the dude. I mean,
yeah.
I think their problems. I don't know what their problems is. Their GM letting like a lot of really good pieces just walk out the door. But part of that was cap related, and they didn't want to play cap magic. But they allowed a lot of good pieces out the door over the last 2 years. It's not the head coach. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That's the GM. Um, I think if there's and they already made that change. So, or they fired him. They're going to get a new GM. I think McDaniel might be fine. Uh, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. First off, what a great game last night.
Yeah.
I think both. I can't believe those coaches, 18 and 19 years respectively, they've been there. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think they're both going to be there next year, 19 and 20. And for one, it's going to be his final year. He's going to retire for 20. I think Harbaugh does 2 more years and he retires. Honestly, I think that's where they're getting at with some of these guys. You're 20 years in a location, you're just retiring. I don't think those jobs open up this year per se. I'm trying to think of other teams that might be looking to make a change, but like NOLA, no, they got a first-year head coach and they did relatively decent. They were a hard out. They weren't a whipping boy this year. Who else? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, after all the turnover with coaches the last couple seasons, like there's not going to be as many available head coaching jobs this offseason, I don't think.
Just like there aren't that many. I don't. We've been talking about that, Dorn. We don't think he's going to get fired in Miami.
He could. Yeah, like I said, I'm 50-50 whether he will or not. John Harbaugh is under contract, so he did sign an extension this year. So he's under contract through 2028. Tomlin's under contract through next year with a team
20.
option for 2027. So
basically, with both those guys, they're under contract for a 20-year mark.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. I mean, Miami's issue has been personnel driven. And that's the other thing, like quarterbacks. Outside of Vegas needing a quarterback, the quarterback market is going to be pretty small this year. I mean, there's reports already that Minnesota's going to be looking for veteran quarterback help. We'll go figure that one. You couldn't keep JJ healthy. But
JJ didn't make it through the game yesterday. He got hurt again with his hand. So it's just like, what a fucking mess. Yeah, seriously. What a mess.
I mean, I don't want to call him a bust. Yeah, I give him his third year technically, but
he's delicate, let's just say. Like the kid is talented, but I mean, some people just aren't cut out for the NFL. We'll see if he is. We'll see year 3 how what he shows. But dang,
Dorn with a hot take on KOC.
I mean, Dorn. If I'm the Vikings, I think the Vikings are dangerously close to full rebuild mode, a lot closer than most fans want to believe. And their GM stinks. I'm not a KOC fan either. I think he's so overrated. And then there's the whole Brian Flores thing. So there's a lot of rumors about Flores that he might actually just want to leave Minnesota. And even if he gets a DC job somewhere, because supposedly he's very unhappy with how it's being run right now.
Well, and his contract's up, so that could be.
Yep. And like I said, B-Flow, he can get hired as a head coach if a team wanted. Now, he's got that pending lawsuit. Would that impact the verdict on his pending lawsuit? Not in his favor, possibly. But if you're guaranteed, $70-80 million to become a head coach somewhere, might be worth the trade-off right there. But either way, I'm really curious to see what happens with Brian Flores. He's a hell of a defensive coordinator, and if the Vikings lose him, wow! That's going to be a big step back for them on defense.
The Vikings are kind of teetering.
Yeah.
God, made Ben Johnson. Oh Jesus, here we go. We'll get into yesterday's games in a second. I don't know if Minnesota's making changes yet. They're going to blame this year on the quarterback issue, which is also, though, the coaching is part of that, and the GM is part of that. I think they're a year or 2 out from a complete collapse rebuild. The Minnesota or Detroit, not so much. They just got to rebuild their trenches a little bit. Let Joe and Gun Guy go at it and argue in there. Oh, talking about the weekend games. I mean, look at the Vikings go out and they beat Green Bay, who basically played no one. Vikings got a win, so now they have a winning record. Good on them. Considering where they were a couple weeks ago, though, that was saying something that they ended up with a winning record. Because a couple weeks ago we didn't think that was going to happen. The Lions yesterday, man, their offense played well. The Bears not so much. Came out very flat to start the game. Showed some life. Caleb missed 4,000 yards by 59 yards, but he did replace Eric Kramer as the top passer in Bears history for a single season. 3,941 yards or something like that. I think is ridiculous. 59 yards short of 4,000. I don't care about the 4,000 thing. I don't think many people really do. It's just one of those things when you trash talk, okay, cool. I'd rather him throw for what he threw for and we win 13, 10, 11, 12, 13 games.
Yeah. And let's not forget, I mean, this game was like the Super Bowl for the Lions. Like they really wanted to stick it to the Bears. From a Bears player's perspective, it's like, are we going to be the 2 seed? Are we going to be the 3 seed? Big difference. I mean, who really cares? Like they weren't, the motivation's really, really not there. But to the Lions, I mean, hey, you got to look at it like, dude, you guys 15 wins last year, won the division 2 years in a row, and you finished last place this year in the division. So, like you want to hang your hat on beating the Bears the last game of the season. Like I said, you guys had a lot more motivation than the Bears did.
So what a weird situation, though. So the Bears play their starters and lose on a walk-off field goal to the Lions in a good divisional game. The offense was kind of flat. Everything was kind of plain Jane that the Bears did yesterday, offensively and defensively. But the starters played, and we came out injury-free. So that was good. We didn't get the W, which I hate the fact that we're division champs with a losing record within our division. You're division champs, and you're 2-4 in your division.
Yeah.
To me, there's something wrong with that, okay? I mean, if there's a sour note to anything in this season, which it's hard to find a sour note, that would be it. You won the division, but you went 2-4 in the division. If they would have at least gone 500, it's like, okay, so they improved one game in the division over last year's 1-5 record in the division.
Yeah. Okay. And Gardner Johnson did get knocked out, so there's a good chance he's not going to be playing for the wild card game.
Yeah, what was his injury yesterday? Did you see what it was, though?
To me, I didn't get an update, but it looked like a concussion. I mean, the guy needed help walking off. He couldn't even find the bench on the sidelines when he had people holding him up. So, appears to be a concussion. Haven't seen the official report.
Now, hopefully, though, that we'll get a certain someone else back next week, and I'll have offset. But good morning, Snoop. Yeah, I mean, so champs of the North is all that matters, but it'd be nice to have at least a 500 record in the division. But here goes the curious piece of it, though. Okay, so the Bears play their starters, lose on a walk-off field goal, healthy minus Gardner Johnson, and then you go to Philly, they play their backups. They could have taken the number 2 seed away, but they played their backups and lose a game that they could have won with their starters. They basically said, like, you want to talk about a head coach who could be in peril. Let's go to the Eagles. You seeded the 2 seed before you even played your game. Now maybe they say, well, we thought the Bears were going to win against the Lions, blah, 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 whatever. So it was a calculated risk. But, dude, you played at the same time. It's football. It's any given Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like, that made no sense to me why they basically just seeded the division or this 2 seed to the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I look at it from the other perspective. I actually like that move by the Eagles. I wish Ben would have rested the starters for the Bears. I think it was a smart veteran move by the Eagles. And like I said, 2 seed, 3 seed. I mean, there's really not much difference. I mean, okay, you're 1 seed higher. You're not the 1 seed. You're not getting the first round bye. You're playing a game at home either way. So I get it from that perspective. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I think Ben Johnson too, with his first year there, he kind of wanted the whole momentum thing. Like he really wanted to try to build off something positive this last game. And there really weren't many positives on offense. Defense let up a decent amount of yards, but close game. My preference, I would have sat everyone just like the Eagles did.
It was just kind of, I don't know, it was a little, like I said, to me, that was just a little strange. Um, I mean, they could have had it. Hold on, I'm looking for someone's message so I can send him the link, but I'm not finding my last message from him. Vogel, send me a message on Messenger. We're gonna bring Vogel on. He's happy, man. His team won the division.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
on JB shows every.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah,
There's Will. All right, let me bring Will on here. Let me
Will the Thrill.
All right, Will, I just sent it incoming. I mean, yeah, but the Bears played their stars and came through uninjured. Maybe, well, we weren't as bad off in the injury department as it. That was just kind of weird. But Sirianni's got to be careful because look, the Eagles have never lost a divisional game at home. Now they may have to play a divisional game on the road if they get past, this weekend. Sirianni, it's weird that he's always on the hot seat. I don't know why he's on the hot seat, but he is. If they lose in the divisional round, that could get Sirianni fired. You see what I'm saying? That's why that made no sense to me yesterday in a weird way. Because his situation is a little precarious. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, gents.
Go on, Will.
So yeah, it's just kind of like that was one of those weird things. I mean, congrats to the Lions and the Vikings for both winning this weekend against the two non-playoff teams, beat the two playoff teams. Everyone has a winning record in the North. It's good for the North. It's bad for the Bears, who really should have. I'm just not. That 2-4 doesn't sit well with me. 3-3.
I wouldn't want that to sit well with me either.
But then you go to, the NFC South, where who saw that one happen? I mean, a three-way tie at 8-9 that gets Carolina in.
Yeah.
Even after they lose. Right?
So, you know what? I watched highlights of that game, Ken, and there were some really bad calls. I mean, really bad calls. Like, I could tell you two examples. There was a play where Bryce Young threw it back to the side of Rico Dowdle, and they called it incomplete. But then they reviewed it and they said, "Wait a minute, this is a lateral. He threw it back. Ball went out of bounds. Lost to 6 yards. The ball didn't even touch out of bounds." And then,
yeah, but I mean,
you want to hear
even with the
another
bad
bad one?
officiating, though, it didn't matter because Atlanta
No, I know. Trust me, I
gets you
know.
in.
No, it wasn't all the officiating. It was also the Panthers looking miserable. You know what else was a bad call? There was a play where Cade Otton was getting guarded by Mike Jackson, and Otton's running down the field, and he trips. And I see a flag throw, and I'm like, okay, we may have touched him slightly. I don't mind the ref throwing a flag. I watched the replay 10 times out of 10, Ken. Cade tripped. Cade Otton tripped.
This whole season, I mean, on this season, the officiating overall, I don't know if it was better or worse. I think at the beginning of the season it was just normal bad.
Yeah, you know what's so weird is I thought they did those Sky reviews, or they're like, oh, we're going to go.
They do the reviews of the officials throughout the season. There were some crews, like the guys that called the Bears Commanders game, they were fired the next day.
Oh, that was terrible.
Right? They were fired the next day. But I mean,
Panthers guys.
there was like, there were plays like, there were even yesterday, like there were some flags. Yes, oh my God, even the Bears Lions game, they come out of the start the quarter. Before the quarter, even the first snap, there was a flag because someone lined up in the neutral zone. Was that the Bears game or was that one of the other games? It was one of the games. It might have been the Bears. There was
But
a
no,
flag and then
oh,
line up in the neutral zone to start the quarter. It's like we even get a play in the quarter and there was already a flag, right? I mean, there were
and,
some flags that just make you
uh-huh,
go. But overall, I thought like yesterday though there weren't that many penalties in the Bears Lions game overall.
uh-huh.
Most of the games I watched were pretty clean. It's sad that you still get what happened in your game at this point in the season though, where there's some plays you're like, dude, like did you phone it in? Um, but the AFC South, man, no one having a winning record and
Yeah,
no coaches on the hot seat.
and what's so funny is every Panther fan I talk to is like, "Oh, we're gonna beat the Rams. We're gonna beat the Rams again." I said, "Dude, Stafford and Nakua are clicking right now. So guess what? I'm gonna
Well,
give you a preview. I
Devontae's
say,
coming back too, isn't he?
and Devontae's probably coming back. I think the Panthers lose on Saturday. I
Oh,
really
hold
think
on. We
we
got
lose.
breaking news. Breaking news. Hold on.
Whoa.
Broski's gonna have a big smile on his face if we could see it. Raiders fire head coach Pete Carroll.
Wow.
They should. I mean,
They should.
I can't say. Oh, I predicted that. I was just one to keep an eye on for sure. But to me,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like, hey,
Yeah.
and I think getting the number one overall pick, like you said, Ken, how attractive that's going to be to land a new head coach, to go through a whole rebuild with a coaching staff, a young quarterback, all
Yep.
locked in, all timed up.
Absolutely.
I think that's huge. So
So
yeah, we'll see who they go
But
after.
like I said, Ken, I am calling it right now. The Panthers are gonna lose to the Rams. I fool me once, shame on me, but fool me twice, no, it's not gonna happen.
so we'll get the playoff games throughout the week. I mean, look, I think if you're everyone in the playoffs has an opportunity to win. I mean,
Yeah,
even look at
absolutely.
being 8-9 and getting in. The Giants did that once and won the Super Bowl that way. But
Yeah, but
the news of the day, I mean, look at Pete Carroll being gone and Stefanski being gone. Stefanski, you gotta figure has got to be the favorite to go to either Vegas or the Giants right now. Those
what
are the
about
two teams.
Atlanta?
I don't think Atlanta. I don't think he'd want to go to Atlanta. I mean, if you're
I wouldn't
Stefanski, you're looking for okay, what situation can I go to that's good? I think Sheen's a good GM in New York that he could work with, and you've got a young quarterback running back combination there that you got something you can
I
build and a good
agree.
defense, right? They got pieces on defense.
They got Abdul Carter, Brian Burns. Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm saying. They
agree.
got pieces that would be attractive to a guy like Stefanski. The Raiders, you got the number one pick. He can just go take his quarterback if you want.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah, but
agreed. If someone was like, "Hey, Will, what would you rather choose?" I'd choose the Giants job.
yeah, the Falcons have pieces both sides of the ball. I mean, they need a
They do.
quarterback. That's their thing. And with Matt Ryan taking his role now in the front office, like you can't tell me they're not going to want to go after an offensive-minded coach like Stefanski. But we'll see. We'll see where Stefanski lines up, and who knows? Stefanski might have some inside scoop on the Chiefs. Maybe he's getting, hints that maybe
Really?
Reed hangs it up, and maybe he wants to go there. I don't know.
I
You know
We'll see.
what? I,
Well,
I
there was a
wouldn't-
news article this morning as well about Matt Nagy maybe taking
You-
a head coaching gig and what would happen if that would happen. Nagy, look at
I-
his run as Bears head coach was not terrible
No.
overall, right? He had a winning record as the Bears head coach. Went to the playoffs 2 out of 2 years, right? And then he went back as a quarterbacks coach in Kansas City and worked his way back up to OC. He's going to get a head coaching gig,
You
right?
know
And
what?
he's taken what, like 6 years off from being a head coach or whatever, or 4 years, whatever. He might, because the whole Kansas City thing is like, one of those two guys there was going to be the heir apparent. But now they're trying to say that Nagy may bolt to take a head coaching gig.
I think I was on JB's show and a few of us were talking. I think it's going to be Spagnuolo who will jump on that job because He's been a
Well, that's
defensive,
been kind of
great
like,
defensive coordinator.
yeah, I mean, that's been kind of like it's either been it's going to be Spags or Nag. Is basically what they were saying when Reed retired. One of them would be the heir apparent, but now they're saying Nagy may bolt this year if he gets
I
offered.
wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
And if I'm the Raiders, I'm hard charging. I am going all in for Stefanski. Like,
Oh,
dude, come on down, my man. You have the number 1 overall pick. We'll get your quarterback and, have fun with the rebuild here.
So the only other thing with the Raiders, they have the number 1 pick, but now there's some consternation in Vegas where Mr. Untouchable may be touchable. That Max Crosby may be traded.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you with that, Ken. Like, it's one of those things, man. Like, you're starting over. It's going to be a full on rebuild now. Like, I really, you can't mask it. Like, they fired their coach who was there for 1 year. They have the number 1 overall pick. You won 2 games last year. It's
Yeah, you're
rebuild mode.
basically keeping
you know?
Genty, you're keeping Brock Bowers, and then you're going to sell off Chin.
Max is the guy who could yield a high return if you trade him. You want to shed veteran contracts and you want to stockpile capital draft picks, and that's what would happen if you got rid of Max.
Amen. For real.
So and honestly, if you're a playoff team, you're watching this because if you're the Panthers, you're the Bears, or a team that just missed like the Lions, like Max Crosby's that piece. Like
they can't. Detroit would love Max Crosby, but I think they already have something special with Hutch and.
But you want something to go with Hutch. That's why they would do it in a heartbeat. Davenport or Max. I'll go with Max any day of the week. And for the Bears, like Booker's coming on, so like the Bears, you can make a case where like Booker's played really well since he started. Like since he's been getting the starts in Chicago, Booker, you're hearing his name from the announcers 2 or 3 times a game, which is pretty good. Now he's not getting the sacks yet, but if you're the Bears, let's say you don't make it to the Super Bowl, and let's say you get to the NFC Championship game and lose, you might be looking at a possibility at a Max Crosby trade to put you over the hump defensively, right?
Yeah.
If you're Carolina, you might be looking at Max Crosby as, wait a minute, I can get Max and work on that defensive side of the ball to complement my offensive side of the ball. And next year, I'm not an 8-9 division winner. I'm a 11-game division winner.
Panthers would have to go back to their 4-3, and they'd have to hire a new DC who runs a 4-3. From the Bears' perspective, if I have catch a whiff that Crosby's available and they need a wide receiver, buy DJ Moore. Here's a 1st-round pick. Here's DJ Moore, and here's a 3rd-round pick, and welcome Max Crosby to the Chicago Bears. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Hey, broski, we do need to get together sometime, though, bro. I'll have to give you my email sometime backstage.
Real quick, AJB, if you're locked out of the StreamYard, I don't know. Ken would have to do that because I don't have the access, or Mike. But I just sent you a message. We know Stefanski's fired. We were talking about that.
Is JB trying to jump on?
Well, I guess he can't get into his StreamYard even for his show, so this could get interesting. Sorry with the sidetrack there. If Max Crosby is traded, I don't think there's a player involved, Broski. I think it's they're looking for capital. They're getting picked. You got the number 1 pick. If you're going to trade Max, you want 2 number 1s and like a 3rd or a 5th or something. How you always do that. 2 number 1s and then some random 6th or 5th or 4th or whatever. They're looking for draft capital.
Yeah, but you also want to pair him with a wide receiver as well. So
DJ's too old for that. They don't want a guy. They don't want a guy.
Hey, I'm just throwing it out there. To me, the Bears do have the capital from player contract perspective and draft pick perspective. And to me,
the Bears could do it on just draft picks alone. I think
they could. They absolutely could. And like you said, Booker has been coming on, but it's like Max Crosby, and then you have Booker and Sweat. It's like, big difference between those guys. But And think about if you could get him and keep those two. Holy shit! Like, which I'm assuming you'd be able to. My God, that'd be a rotation.
I mean, and you're looking at like teams like Green Bay could be looking to do that too, depending on how the playoff teams are the teams you're looking at right now for possible Max Crosby trade, or the teams that just missed. But
Yep.
I look more towards the teams that get to like the divisional round or the championship game and then lose. And like in Chicago's case, like what's your weak point right now? Your defense. So that they would make sense. If you look at the Packers, same thing. It would make sense for them if they could have. Oh my God, could you imagine their defense if they got Max Crosby next year? I mean, Barry would be. You need to order Barry a whole new wardrobe of pants because he just messed them all up.
Yeah, but after acquiring Parsons, I don't think the Packers are really going to do it.
No,
now, the Lions
they have the trade capital. The Lions, though, you pair him with Hutch. Oh yeah,
Lions would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting because does Dollar Store Brad Holmes finally buck up and actually make a move to try to put him over the top? Like that could be the move.
The problem, though, Steve, like even for the Packers need to try to re-sign Rashawn Gary if they can, because here's the problem: you have nothing to trade them for Max Crosby. Like if it's like, well, Rashawn Gary's gonna be gone, so yeah, we make a move on Max. With what? You gave up your first round picks to get your other stud.
Yep.
You send him Jordan Love.
Yeah,
I mean that's about it. That's about what you can do. And there's some other guys from the Raiders who are probably up for sale. Jeremy Chin will probably be traded too. He won't get as much, but he's another piece they can trade.
love him back here.
Chin, yeah. See, Barry's like, wait, trade Love. Yeah. So I mean, the Packers are going to have to do whatever they do via free agency with their cap and draft with what they've got left. And let's face it, they still have a wide receiver issue because Golden did worse than our undrafted free agent rookie receiver did this year. Walker had a better year. Okay, just saying Gary's gone no matter what. Is that because of money though, Steve? Is Rashawn Gary leaving because of money or age or what? I mean,
let me see. Let me look at his contract.
Okay, yeah. I mean that makes it interesting. I'm taking it. JB came and get in. I sent him the link to get into the show, even as a guest, and he's not able to get in, or he's trying to figure out how to get in.
Interesting.
Okay, well, Ken's online. He just can't be on the show today, but maybe he's taking care of that.
Yeah,
well, I don't know how you can, Barry.
Gary's under contract 2 more years, so I don't know what he's talking about. Gary's gone.
What's the hit if they cut him? What's the hit if they cut him though?
I don't know. The dead cap, if they cut him this year, so for 2025, 34 million, 2026, 17 million.
Okay, we go 2026 and then click on post June 1st where they can designate 2. And if it makes sense, they would obviously. Some players it doesn't make a difference if they're pre or post. I would assume his post June 1st number is less.
Yeah, that must be the case. I mean, maybe. But why would they just cut him if Parsons is injured too? Like, I don't understand why. To me, that doesn't make sense. That's Packers fans ranting. That's Packers fans ranting.
Yeah, I can't see. Let me go to 26. Rashawn Gary. If I cut him pre-June 1st, it's 17 million dead cap. I saved 10 million. Right now, they're minus 11 million cap with 47 in the roster. But if I cut him post June 1st, his dead cap's only 8.5, and they saved 19, so that puts him in the positive. McKinney is has got a nice cap hit too. His play diminished this year. They could cut him and save 13 million post June 1st. Elton Jenkins, they could save 20 million.
I'm trying to think of some other big names that could be moved this offseason besides Max. And for some reason, I can't think of any.
Just wait till the Super Bowl's over.
Do you guys
start
think
popping up.
T. Higgins moves on from the Bengals? I know those rumblings were thinking about happening a few
Well,
years ago.
let me go back to this whole thing with Rashawn Gary real quick for Barry.
Yeah.
Guys, okay, production may have gone down, but I think Broski with Micah getting injured when Micah was playing in the beginning of the year, you guys were going off. Oh my God, look how awesome Rashawn Gary's been. 2 years up in the contract, you're in money hell. Here, you don't get rid of him unless you have something to replace him with.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to get you better production. Yes,
And
there's
guess what?
cap saving. I could see you maybe if they could try to find a trade partner, I could see that, Steve. I don't think the Packers are going to cut him. If they can find a trade partner, I think they'll try to shop him. Maybe I would agree with that.
Yeah, what I was going to say too, I pulled his stats up. I mean, he has the almost identical stat line as last year, and last year he made the Pro Bowl. So go figure. I mean, I don't think Gary's going anywhere.
JB, I might be able to do something. Yeah, I mean that's kind of like with me. You know, I was saying the Bears' interior defense that the production's down, and then you look at Gervin Dexter. Actually, I think he's +1 this year to last year in the sack category.
Yeah, we could get it to him some other time, but yeah.
So I mean, it's weird, but when you look at that, like, oh, it's diminished, but the numbers don't say that. I mean, we just didn't hear the name. I guess that's gonna Max Crosby's gonna be interesting to see what the Raiders do with him. If they try to move him for capital to a playoff team or a playoff contending team, there are a couple. I can think of a couple teams like like I said, the Lions, yeah, the Bears, yeah, Carolina, definitely.
That would be fun here.
Could be in on that. I mean, there are a couple teams. I mean, the Eagles always try to get in on it. Look at Washington could try to get in on that. I mean, there's a lot of teams that try to get in on that. And they've got capital. So, I guess JB's given up on having a show today.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man.
Time for JB to punt.
Does that mean we go for longer?
No, it doesn't. I got things I got to do today. Yeah, he pulled it. Something Dan Campbell doesn't do. He's punting. So interesting. That's interesting though. With now Pete Carroll being fired, I don't know, or maybe you hold on to him because he's a piece of like if you want Stefanski to come, you're like, no.
Yeah.
We need to keep him. So as we get into the off season,
you know what? Oh, go ahead, guys. I was going to say something, but
JB, were you able to click into the link that I sent you at least as a guest? If you can at least do that, I can set up your show.
So I wanted to point this out real quick. We all know Raheem Morris got fired yesterday. I don't see Raheem Morris coming back as a coach. I see him come back as a coordinator. That's just me.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, the Panthers are going to need a defensive coordinator.
We have one.
Well, he's not under contract after this season.
Oh, Alejo isn't? I didn't know that.
Ejiro Evero is gone after this year.
Oh, I'd love him back. He's doing wonders with this young defense. Hey, Broski, let me give you my... Hey, Ken, do you mind if I put my email in the private chat?
No, go right ahead. I'm looking at StreamYard to try to help JB out.
Broski, I'm giving you my email, sir.
Okay.
Because I want to get together with you.
Yeah, drop it in the private chat, man.
Yeah, I didn't know he's not coming back. I had a very getting old moment the other day. I know I'm younger than both of you guys, but I was watching a bowl game and I saw Josh McCown's son is playing college, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel old.
Yeah, I mean, all right, well, I got it. Thanks, bud.
So, Broski, what do you know the background behind Evero? I don't know much about him.
Yeah, I mean, he was with Denver before he went to the Panthers. He's a 3-4 defensive guy. Supposedly, he's one of the rumors for the last couple months that the Giants are actually interested in him to be their head coach. So I don't know, if that'll happen. But
coordinator, you see, because you live here, you've seen what he's done with Derek Brown. Derek Brown's
well. It's one of those things too. Like the Giants, they might want to try to unlock all that talent they have on their defense now.
Dude,
And
I
you
think you
know,
have
they
to. It's
could.
kind of boom or bust because they have Lawrence, they have Abdul Carter, they have Burns. That's a good young defense.
So the Giants are definitely they are definitely a job that people are going to want.
So
You know
For
what
I
I mean?
sure.
forget
I think
where
For
I'm
sure.
sorry, Ken. I've heard
no,
this
I mean,
rumor.
I honestly, they're a job. I
Yep.
think that honestly,
Yeah,
like you're looking at them going, oh yeah. I mean
Yeah.
that if you're looking to get a job,
yeah,
if
they're
you're looking
only a
for
few pieces away from contending again. But
yeah,
Ken, I wanted to hear your statement on this. There was rumblings, supposedly, I don't know how true they were, about if the Bills don't go super far, McDermott could be gone and they'd wipe staff. What do you think about that?
I've heard that. I mean I've heard that too with McDermott. I think he might be. Look at there's a certain coach I was in New York that got fired, right?
Mhm.
Dable, and I think Dable may end up um
Going back?
going back as their OC, and that'll be what they do. That'll be their
Yeah,
next
and Josh, if I'm not wrong, Josh Allen's success came from
It
Brian
did.
Day.
It did. So I mean, um, there is some. I think that's what's going to happen. To be honest with you,
Hey, but as a
and
Panther pseudo Lion fan, I want to tell you guys, great year this year. You guys have had a hell of a year. I love the kid Luther Burden.
Yeah. He's going
Burden,
to be a ball player, man.
yeah.
And you know what? It's funny because I rag on the Bears, but guess what? I'm going for the Bears this weekend. I got the Bears by double digits.
Shout out Will.
Yeah.
So, like, literally, I can't hate the Bears. Like, as much as I rag on them, it's because I actually share a birthday with Coach Ditka. So, I'm trying to be in his good
hey,
praises.
hey, Will, do you ever go on the Rockstar report?
No.
Yeah, that's my buddy Clay who runs that channel, man. Go check out the Rockstar report if you want a really good Panthers channel to go check out.
Okay. Definitely. I will. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that, Cam. But yeah, I'll definitely jump on with you guys when you guys do your playoff show. Because I don't work on Friday or whenever you guys do it. Double digits. Wow, man, double digits. Let's see.
Vogel, the Packer fans are coming for you.
Uh, hey, man. Hey,
I mean, we'll get
hey.
into the playoff games. We're definitely going to be talking playoff football here, during this week for sure. I mean, today was
I
like
just see
we're
it.
really
I'm
not
not
going to talk about the
saying it.
games, but it's Black Monday. You got to
eh,
talk about
Yeah.
the head
Hey,
coach firing
Packers
some of these other
fans, I'm
teams.
not saying it's high double digits. I'm saying like 10.
I mean, look at today is an interesting day. And I'm wondering, Pete Carroll just fell. I'm wondering if there's another coach or two to be fired.
Do you?
Some coordinators are going to be on the move too.
Mhm.
I think there might be a playoff coach or two who might be under fire too, believe it or not.
I agree. Do you
Um,
think Carroll retires or do you think Carroll
oh yeah,
goes
he's
somewhere
done. Yeah,
else, Ken?
he's done. I don't think.
I do too. I think when he went to the Raiders, I'm like, okay, this is just what's his name? Davis just saying, hey, I have this old coach who probably wants to reinvigorate that
I think
spark
he was a
again.
bridge.
But guess what? I'm sorry. That ship sailed once he left Seattle. I was like, if he gets hired, it's just to say, hey, we have a veteran coach who's been there, done that, had success. Am I wrong? I don't know.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, Snoop. We were talking about, and Max Crosby may be traded as well. That's another rumor that's starting to float.
Yeah,
You want to talk about making a team attractive? Is you've got the number one pick, and you trade Max and get more number one, more first round picks. So you could
Yep.
be like, hey, Stefanski, why don't you come here? Yeah, you don't have a quarterback. Yeah, you really don't have a defense. But by the way, you've got 2 first round picks, Brock Bowers and Genty. So
yeah,
pick your
and we'll
quarterback
let
and start building
you.
your defense.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, no. If I
LaFleur,
think
LaFleur, I wasn't thinking about him, Steve, but I mean, there was at one point in the season where Ken was like, if we lose to New York, LaFleur's fired, or
I
should be
remember
fired. I
that.
think LaFleur is kind of under fire a little bit. Yeah, I mean, if the Packers lose to the Bears this weekend, does that mean he gets fired though? I don't know
I don't
because he
think
got them to the
so, but
playoffs again.
for next season, I think he is gonna have a little flame under him.
Yeah, I mean, because what have the Packers done under Matt LaFleur?
Yeah, true. Hey, I have a question before the show ends. I know we're ending soon, but if you were Tampa Bay, I know it's somewhat the players' fault, somewhat coaching. Would you move on from Todd Bowles?
No,
I
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't either.
I would not.
people.
I wouldn't
And I would
either.
keep
Personally.
LaFleur, and I would actually keep LaFleur. Going back to that, I mean, offensively, I mean, look at the Packers were cruising along, and they're still a playoff team. They were still in contention for this division up until what, last week, the week before. I
Yeah.
mean, and then you lose Michael Parsons. I mean, I don't see LaFleur going anywhere.
I'm
But
trying to think
you
of
go out
other
to the
coaches.
Bears though, and your playoff record as a head coach is you beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. It's like, okay, all these Packer fans, the Packers are so great every year. They're winning the division. They haven't won the division since 2021.
Yeah.
Jordan Love has never won the division since he's been a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Caleb has won more division titles than Jordan Love has.
True story.
You look at Packer fans. I mean, we're definitely can explore it after the playoffs for sure. I think we will. But I mean, if Ben Johnson gets them to an NFC Championship game, let's say, or God forbid for Packer fans, the Bears get to a Super Bowl, you're looking at LaFleur going, the Bears just took Ben Johnson. He already won a division and got him to the game. LaFleur,
First
what's
year
up?
head coach, former
Yeah, what's
coordinator,
up?
gets him to the game.
Yeah.
Steve is telling himself to shut up now after that.
Shut up, Steve.
But I mean, that's an interesting.
Yeah.
Steve, that's a good point. That's something we're gonna have to look at more, I think, after the playoffs, especially after this weekend. But I think there's a playoff team or two that may be looking for a head coach, and I wasn't going to say the Packers initially until Steve brought up, but Broski, it makes sense. I mean, they haven't won a division since Rodgers left.
Yeah.
They haven't. This year you might be able to chalk up. Well, they maybe could have won the division, except for maybe some injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like what Will said, I don't think he's getting fired after the season, no matter what happens with this game against the Bears or what happens in the playoffs with the Packers.
Yeah,
but I think his seat definitely could be hot next year.
So, do you guys want to hear an interesting factoid before we close it out? Also,
Yeah, because I got a factoid before that, after that. So go ahead.
Also, Ken, I am available tomorrow to talk more football. I don't work the rest of this week, but yeah, they gave me off. The Jets, no interceptions this year as a
First team in NFL history.
First team in NFL history.
Here's
and
another
guess
weird.
what's hilarious? Their coach is a defensive-minded coordinator.
There's some irony there, but they did trade away their best cover guy.
Yeah, they did. But
at
go
the deadline.
ahead, Ken. I know we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, here's the last factoid for coming into this week for the think about for the playoffs. The Bears and the Packers, being the oldest rivalry in NFL football, have only met in the playoffs, get this, 2 times before. That's
Really?
it.
Wow.
2010 NFC Championship game, and then in 1947. The Bears won the first meeting, the Packers won the second meeting. So just like the regular season, this is a rubber match for the Bears and the Packers.
And what do we know what the game time temperatures are predicted to be?
No, it's Saturday night. Who knows? It's way too early.
It's probably going to be cold.
But with that being said, this will be I go back down. We're about out of time here. Yes, this will be a true rubber match, not only in all-time playoff meetings, but in regular season for this year. So we're gonna have some fun with that this week, guys. Interesting Monday. Keep it glued. I'm sure there'll be some more firings. We'll be back tomorrow morning to talk about them. There's no Monday Night Football. That's a strangeness. So let's get ready for some playoff football. Thank you, Broski, for being with us this morning. Thank you, Will, for coming on. Ken will
Of
be back
course, thank you.
tomorrow. I think Joe will be back tomorrow. Everyone have a great day. And JV will be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get him fixed. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.